Hello, everyone. My name is Dean Gilton. I am the creator of the Phantom Zone Paranormal Channel and also the founder and team leader of Southern Expedition Paranormal. I got a special type announcement here, folks, and it's very important. All right. I've been doing a lot of investigations for 4 years since the project, paranormal cases for the past 4 years, even way before then. We have encountered many truthful cases, and a lot of them were good and legit cases. Others, we ran across ones that turned out to be a hoax or was explained by other scientific explanations. Well, tonight, though, I'm here to give you one of these hoaxes, you might say. And this has been beating in the head for far too long. And I think it needs to stop because it's just ruining this place's name. It's just ruining it. It's good with the events it holds. It's good for charity events, historical tours. It's good for anything, but not for, let's just say, not for haunted. It's not haunted. This place I'm talking about is not haunted. But they say it is, but really don't believe it. It's not. It's not haunted. This place I'm referring to is called the Coatsworth House. Coatsworth House, or Coatsworth Plantation, is in North Carrollton, Mississippi, in Carroll County, Mississippi. The house was for, at the time, of Senator James Z. George and his wife at the time. Now, James, however, though he didn't stay in the house that much or anything like that, he more likely been in Washington a lot of times. His wife, however, stayed a couple of months in on out, but not much at all. Now, here's the thing, though. They did not die on the property. There's no evidence which stands that there is no indication that they died on the property. As far as I know, I think James, he died in D.C. at the time, at his demise. No, he died on the coast, I'm sorry. He died on the coast at a friend's house down there in, I think it's down in Biloxi it was. But, this place is not haunted. However, there could be small echoes. Echoes means they're not apparitions or anything like that. These are more like recordings, you might say, recordings of the individual who once lived in the house. But that person who was the individual who's now deceased has descended into the afterlife. But they left behind an echo. Now there could be like one or two echoes, but not enough to withstand anything else in the house. Now, if James E. George, if he came back to Coatsworth, a lot of times he'd like to spend his time maybe over in his library where he keeps all his books, his records, you name it, because that's where, mostly hangs out a lot, though. The furniture in the house, though, a lot of it, though, was not really from the United States. A lot of it later on during previous previous people who owned it right after them added a few details to it, some furniture pieces. Some was imported from France. Others was imported around in other parts of America, but not from here locally, not in the state of Mississippi. Now, why they say it's haunted? Well, why? Well, the reason why they say it's haunted is, well, it's not really haunted, but they say it's haunted. They want to do that to create more tourism, well, which works. But they needed someone or a group, though, to get on their side to make sure it's haunted or not, or put on a show indicating that, well, let's just say that they had probably have instruments, so like EMF readers, that or any other type of instrument that can be rigged. Yes, it can be rigged. Now, I have an EMF reader. I do. But EMF readers can be misleading at times. That's why it can be a focal point on any other type of electronic devices. That's why I be sure to turn my phone off or not with me in the group. I make sure that it's not close to any exposed wiring that could set it off, or a Wi-Fi signal. Yes, if you get close to a Wi-Fi box, it will actually, the signal is way powerful though, that it'll make the EMF reader go up into the red. Or into close to high voltage power lines. So you have to be really careful when it comes to EMF reading. And also, like I said, be sure to turn your phone off, completely off. Or no other type of anybody else using, make sure that theirs off or on silent or anything like, or airplane mode even, because those can be easily sensitive to that device if you're not careful. Where was I? Oh yeah, well, this team that they had, this, I don't know how out in the blue though, been with them many times before. I say about 5 or 6, even before the pandemic. They are call themselves Southern Paranormal Investigations. Now, Southern Paranormal Investigations has been around since I don't say about, when I looked at our last detailed report, it was like in 2009, or was it 2010? It depends on one of their videos they had last on YouTube. Well, they do have a Facebook page, but the Facebook page is more like a forum where all these other people putting up random stuff and everything else on there, and anybody else in this group that are not officially with them. They have 1.4 followers in their group, so technically it's like a forum though. It's like for any reason, and a lot of it's not even paranormal related. I checked through their videos though. Some videos was hardly undermissed. A lot of times in their videos though, I'm not seeing that much evidence by them as much in full detail what's going on in these places. They do have some instrument devices besides the EMF, which is okay, I guess. Which is, yeah, it's okay to have. But there are times you gotta remember if it's gonna be rigged or not rigged on some of these devices. So you gotta be very careful with other groups. However, though, like I said, one of their videos on the Facebook page they had, and not enough, like I say, not enough evidence on the previous cases to hold up water, because I need more info, more details. So I went on YouTube, their YouTube channel. There's like, they got like 3 type channels. One is dedicated to a former member, and the other 2 are for themselves. Now, I looked at all of them, and none of them has Coatsworth on it. You know, it's strange because I've been doing business with Coatsworth for 5 to 6 years or so, and they actually don't have no type evidence or anything like photographic evidence, no videos or anything about Coatsworth House. And I say, well, that's strange though. I mean, you've been with them for Coatsworth for a long time. You should be able to have some evidence to put out there. But there was no evidence or details, especially on their forum when they posted the page about going back to Coatsworth. I see the recent ones they did, but I saw the photos, but the photos had nothing in them. It was just regular standard photos. No orbs, no apparitions or anything like that. I didn't see no EMF reading or recording sessions, no EVP recording sessions. EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena, and I didn't see that in there either. Just these couple of pictures. So the question remains though on them though, is the place haunted or not haunted for them? Well, without the actual proof though, it's unexplainable. Well, probably not unexplainable. It could be explainable as in they have no proof. They have no proof if the place is haunted or not. They have no proof of the place being haunted or not at all. So how can this be? Now, I try looking for anybody else, like, say, other people who went on these ghost tours with them, who paid those $25 admission fee or reservations for them to go in Coatsworth, and you're hoping that those tours they let in, they will take pictures and stuff like that. Well, I didn't see no pictures of any tours taking any pictures of Coatsworth during those sessions. And you got to explain. I wonder why. Which is you put things together, and say, I wonder why. But I just want to get that part over there with that type group. Are they trustworthy or not trustworthy when doing a paranormal investigation into your house or your business or any type of land, though, that could hold up historical significance in history? So, going back with Coatsworth here, the house itself. Now, I'm still doing my research and homework, though, for the 1886 massacre that took place at the Carroll County Courthouse. Yeah, if you read the massacre, you can find it everywhere online, if you can, possibly. It happened at the Carroll County Courthouse in Carrollton, Mississippi. Yes. Which it did took place. Now, we did an investigation there at night. Of course, at that time, the courthouse was completely open. It was like all the 4 entrances were open all the time. But everything else was locked and all, and especially up in the courtroom locked as well. But anyway, though, it was okay for us to even go at night, though people go there at night anyway, probably just to walk around or anything like that. However, we went up there. So far, there was no reading indications, but on the 2nd floor, there is disembodied footprints going up and down through the hallways. And I think there was one going in the courtroom. Now, there was no lights on at all. No lights on whatsoever up there, which was interesting. So we don't know if it was an actual person up there or a spirit. It could be a person, it could be a spirit, who knows? But the EMF reader did go off a couple of times, but it went down to a lower, into the yellow milligauss levels. I made sure that my phone wasn't on me or anything like that, or near any exposed electrical equipment, but it did went off, indicating that some sort of entity did pass the area. Now, I did uncover some film evidence, though, indicating there was like a type blur of a mist on the 2nd floor, then it dissipated. So, anyway, I want to know for sure about what if James E. George, now, he wasn't even involved in it. I mean, when the massacre took place, he was in D.C. at the time, but must have heard about it, you know? So I was wondering if maybe Coatsworth has some more records indicating more of what happened. And maybe so, though, is it possible that there could be remnants of James E. George, maybe in the library, who was doing his own investigation at the time when he had time for a break or something like that from D.C. and came back to do an investigation on his own to see where it pinpoints, to see who were these mysterious men at the time who committed the massacre. So I ran an email out to one of the board members who are now like third owners of this house, the third owners of Coatsworth. So I said, this was back in the summer. Well, back in the spring, early spring it was. So I sent this out to this person. I want to read some of it out to you since I got some of the email in here. Though, I mean, this guy was also a really good amateur Carroll County historian himself. But he went on a little bit flabbergasted here and there. Let's just say that flabbergasted, because I won't go into details because it's kind of nasty and kind of rude what he's saying. So he did say at this, each time, this is at the end of this paragraph, this email, each time paranormal groups approaches Coatsworth for investigation, I vote no. So if you vote no among the board members, or all the other board members for it though, if they all vote no, then why do you have a paranormal team called Southern Paranormal Investigators from Kosciuszko, Mississippi? Been doing this for a long time with you guys. So this begs a dipper. So this, and it brought me to this. I'm sorry I had to hang on there for a lip though. It tells me that Coatsworth is officially not haunted. For real. Not haunted at all. But if it is, we need evidence. So this Southern Paranormal Investigations need to come out in the open with their evidence, not just the preliminary EMF, video recording, photographic evidence, and of course some actual detail work with the EMF reader without it going default. Okay? So if you're listening to this, Southern Paranormal Investigators from Kosciuszko, Mississippi, if you are standing your word, what you do is true, please come forward and tell us, or tell me, if you are legit. If you don't come forward in this, then there's a possibility rate that half of your stuff could be proven false. Which means it brings Coatsworth into jeopardy as is. Now, I love Coatsworth Manor. I love its history. I love the detail, the layout, and how it sits. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's just so majestic and calm. It has the car show that goes there. It does beautiful weddings, receptions, but it really doesn't need like a ghost tour. It doesn't. To me, and probably to a lot of other people in Carroll County, and probably throughout the rest of the state of Mississippi, who probably could find out that Coatsworth is not really haunted, then you probably want to say, find something different. Then don't do this whole ghost hunting thing. You can do like a candlelight history tour or something like that. Just to charm up the rate. You don't have to add ghosts to it. Because it just makes it feel so misleading in so many ways. This is not coming from me, but this is probably coming out from a lot of other people who maybe want the same thing. I mean, come on. We all know that Coatsworth is not haunted, but if it is, we need evidence. Not just for a couple of people or from someone self-text. Now, if you want to make sure, you gotta let another team in to qualify those accounts, if it is haunted or not haunted. Because you need to have at least, not just a first, but a second ones. Now, if you had me and my team, all our services to our clients are free. The only thing we do is do out preliminary research, gather information, detail, and we give copies of our research and findings to the client, and we also have our own copies as well, the main data. And also, if you want to go public with it though, for video wise or anything like that, you can, for their permission, and we can put this as a national thing, and we can create a third copy of the files and put it into the archive system over at the Greenwood LaFleur Library, the Carrollton Library, and the Vaden Library, which I think would be quite well to have. Now, speaking of which though, Carroll County, it does have haunted locations, some very true haunted locations, not just the courthouse, but also you're dealing with the old jail cell at the old county jail. Now, it's haunted beyond belief because it also plays a part in the massacre as well. There's probably 2 other sites. The Vaden Library out in Carroll County in Vaden, Mississippi. Now, that library is haunted, but at a level 2. It's a class level 2 haunting. It's very calm, very steady. There is a spirit there, but this spirit tries to interact, but not quite well. It's, how can you say, trapped? The reason I say trapped, well, before the library was built, it was it's the new library. The old one was on top of a hill somewhere in the downtown area of Vaden. But anyway, though, this person must have died on the property before the new library was built. Now, the library itself is built right on top of a spring, underground spring. That's one reason why this entity, this spirit of a man, is trapped. And also can join to a ley line. Yes, a ley line. There's a ley line that runs through it, and it runs through many other haunted locations throughout the state of Mississippi, through Tennessee, and even in Springfield, Illinois. Yes, Springfield, Illinois. Which they do got a lot of haunted locations there as well. And also, if you go further down though, it goes through the old Grenada Masonic Temple in downtown Grenada, Mississippi. And it also goes through the old Panola County Hospital in Panola County, Mississippi, right there near Batesville. But this one in particular had this spirit of a man. Well, the spirit of a man was trapped when he died. He must have died right on the ley line, including the spring. He's trapped in some sort of dimensional tide effect, you might say. Now, somehow, it split him in half, creating him into 2. On one side, he's the old man, and the other side, he's the boy. Both him and the boy are the same. But this gets nasty. This is what I tell. So now, the man, his energy is dissipating. He's been trapped there way too long. I mean, if I blessed him, though, it could make matters worse, though. It could destroy the rest of what's holding him together. I mean, the matter state of him is dissipating slowly because he's trapped between this area where he can't cross over officially. But he usually just stays in like a loop, though, in the back area where the line is. He'll turn to the boy, like this, old man, boy. Then he comes back around in a loop, back to the old man again. It's like a loop cycle. But he's slowly dissipating, and probably takes for him fully disappear, it'd be like another 10 or possibly 10 to 20 years, possibly. But, yeah. Carroll County has a lot of haunted locations. And we're checking out more in Vaden as well. Still continuing in Vaden and in Carroll County. Because it's just a hotbed of activity. Especially over at the Carroll County, or at the Carrollton Cemetery. Yeah, the Carrollton Cemetery. The city cemetery. That's where James E. George and his wife are buried at. Now, he is kind of there at his grave. We did a lot of readings around his gravesite, and he's there. He's there at his grave. And he can be active at times, just ask the right amount of questions. You'll be fine with it. There's another one out in the county area in Carroll County. Out there on a dirt road, there's another cemetery. But this cemetery, to be honest with you, it's I can't give you the name just yet, though. Maybe in time. But this cemetery, though, a lot of things that happened to this place, out in the middle of nowhere. There is a dark force presence at the cemetery at night. And this thing was brought here. It was brought here on purpose by a group of individuals, I'll say maybe 50 or 60 years ago. They call upon a demon, and that demon made its home there. And the demon's name is Malithus. Yes, Malithus. Malithus, though, as you might reconsider, though, is from who is one of the 72 demons, originally the original 72 demons of the Lesser King of Solomon. Now, how that happens, because it is all like Aleister Crowley's area. Well, Aleister Crowley, I mean, he had some followers, even some of the Americans. Now, there could be some who had his books and all here in Mississippi as well, who read through his work. So why not summon a demon out in the middle of a graveyard? So yeah, that's kind of bad, and that demon is still present there, along with other entities that are trapped there. Whew. Well, I said a lot on that one. But going back to Coatsworth. Coatsworth is not haunted. I repeat that again. Coatsworth is not haunted. Unless, of course, you have the evidence to back it up to show everyone. If the paranormal team and Coatsworth that been doing this for a while, then show us the evidence to make sure if it's haunted or not. In retrospect, though, right now, me and probably about 100 other people know that this place is not haunted. Because there's no photographic evidence. There's no video sessions. There's no EMF or EVP recordings involvement. So what then? Well, I said everything. And I believe hopefully everyone get the message. Now, if you had trouble hearing, I'm sorry because I have sinus problems. Yes, the weather has changed on us all. Ugh. But keep in mind, folks, I mean, yeah, Coatsworth, remember, Coatsworth has a lot of good history in it. A lot of good history, probably a good story. But it's not haunted. Alright, y'all. Thank you for listening, and everyone have a good night.